This video discusses the recent deaths of more famous people like Madeleine Albright, former US Secretary of State, actor William Hurt, Sesame Street actor Eric Delgado, Foo Fighters drummer Taylor Hawkins, country singer Jeff Carson, ESPN commentator John Clayton, and other celebrities. Hello friends, this is Unmasked Truth with Harmanjeet Saini, where I provide unique analysis of world events based on the unmasked truth that after surrender, Germany continued World War II clandestinely and became a killing machine. I also provide true news that you will find nowhere else. I like to continue reporting that those who have committed murders and atrocities against white people of non-German descent in America, British Commonwealth nations, France, and other Israelite countries and nations in Scandinavia and Benelux countries are being brought to justice by being put to death for their crimes. Generally, only celebrity deaths are reported in the news. When a celebrity dies young, it is likely that person was put to death for the crime of murder. But those are not the only people being executed. Many ordinary people who committed murder to avail of the financial rewards offered by German masqueraders are also being put to death, though their deaths don't make it in the news. Such deaths nationwide probably number in the hundreds every week. Such executions will continue because millions of murderers are still alive. Some celebrities became very successful on the merits of their talent and hard work. They are constantly being harassed by German masqueraders, such as the recent incident at the Oscars between Chris Rock and Will Smith, who were ordered to stage the slapping incident to tarnish their reputations. But we also want to send a message to those who took masquerader help to achieve success that they will be put to death for their crimes. Without further ado, let's discuss the celebrities who have recently been executed for their crimes. First, Madeleine Albright. This was a total shocker for me when I learned that Madeleine Albright, former US Ambassador to the United Nations and US Secretary of State, was a German masquerader and was put to death on March 23, 2022 at the age of 84. Though in the press she was reported as having died of cancer. Her background had been shady and claims that she was surprised when the Washington Post reported in 1997 that both her parents were born and raised in Jewish families. She was 59 at that time. It seems she knew they were not Jews and knew of her German ancestry. Of course, for her to have been executed, she must have met the German masquerader hurdle qualification. She was married to Joseph Albright from 1959 to 1982. I would guess she did that deed around that time. The exact time she committed the murder is not important, but it was likely the reason that she got the two top US diplomat positions as soon as a Democrat, that's President Bill Clinton, took office because she was a Democrat. That was also the reason she was put to death. Now, William Hurt, a four-time Oscar nominee and winner of the Oscar for Best Actor in 1985 for his appearance in the film Kiss of the Spider Woman, died at his home in Portland, Oregon on March 13, 2022 at the age of 71, supposedly of prostate cancer. He was a leading man in other films such as Body Heat, The Big Chill, Children of a Lesser God, Broadcast News, and The Accidental Tourist. Before his film career, William Hurt was in high demand as a theater actor. William Hurt did not die of cancer. He achieved his success in theater and film when it was impossible to do so without masquerader support. Thus, William Hurt was executed for his crime of murder, which led to his acting success. Now, drummer for the Foo Fighters band since 1997, Taylor Hawkins died in Bogota, Colombia on Friday, March 25, 2022, where the group had been scheduled to perform. While full investigation into the cause of death is underway, Colombia's Attorney General's office issued a preliminary toxicology report saying that 10 types of substances were found in Hawkins' body, including opioids, benzodiazepines, marijuana, and antidepressant. The Foo Fighters won 12 Grammy Awards and had 4 number one hits to its credit during the time Hawkins was with the band. Again, during the time the band achieved success, Masquerade, help and blessing was necessary, though it was a time when some artists did not give in to Masquerade threats and were able to achieve success on their own talents and merits, because their existence and activities, that is, the Masquerade's existence and activities, were fully discovered around 2000 to 2001, about 3 years after Hawkins joined the band. Hawkins was put to death in Colombia for his crime. This execution, like other similar executions in foreign countries, show that our reach is global. Now, beloved Mexican American actor in the PBS children's show Sesame Street, Emilio Delgado, the man who played the show's fix-it shop owner Luis Rodriguez, died of complications from blood cancer on March 10, 2022, at the age of 81. He played Louis on the show for 44 years, since starting the role in 1971. Delgado was born in California but crossed over the California-Mexico border to Mexicali, Mexico, where his grandfather lived. He studied theater at California Institute of the Arts. In a recent interview, he stated that when he began on television, most of the roles that he auditioned for were either for bandits or gang members, but then he got his break in a positive role in Sesame Street. Again, when Emilio Delgado got his big break in acting, German Masquerader leadership had passed on to Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett. Delgado was one of the early ones to take advantage of the deal they offered. He committed murder and got his big break. Delgado did not die of blood cancer. He was put to death for his crime committed 4 decades ago. Wrestling legend Scott Hall, also known by his wrestling name Razor Ramon, twice inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, considered one of the legendary performers in the sport, died on March 14, 2022, at age 63, when he was taken off life support. He had been on life support following a series of heart attacks. Like most other sports, professional wrestling, generally a major sham sport, had been controlled by German masqueraders. To achieve spectacular success the way Scott Hall achieved it required masquerader sport. That means you had to first meet the masquerader hurdle qualification. So Scott Hall did not die of heart attacks or a hip surgery, but was put to death for his crime of murder. Estelle Harris, the actress who played the mother of the character George Constanza, played by Jason Alexander in the Seinfeld TV show, and the on-screen wife of Jerry Stiller, and the voice of Mrs. Potato Head in the Toy Story franchise, apparently died of natural causes at the age of 93 on April 2, 2022. Harris was born in Manhattan to Jewish immigrant parents, but grew up in a suburb of Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where her family owned a candy and soda shop. She gave up performing in the 1950s when she got married and had children. However, in the early 1980s, when she was in her 50s, she seems to start finding success, landing guest roles in the legal comedy Night Court and films. Her real success came with her debut in Seinfeld in 1992 when she was 64 years old. It's really surprising how many German masqueraders who have been put to death claimed Jewish background, as did Estelle Harris. She did not die of natural causes but was put to death for her crime of murder, which led to her success in the acting career. She was able to enjoy a long life simply because executing masqueraders who have committed murder started only recently. I think more than 50% of Americans who claim a Jewish background are actually German masqueraders like Estelle Harris, Madeline Albright, Jerry Seinfeld, and millions of others. Country music singer and songwriter Jeff Carson died in Franklin, Tennessee of a heart attack at the age of 58. He had 14 songs in Billboard's country music charts, with Not on Your Love making it to number 1 and The Car making it into the top 5. He received a recording contract with Club Records in 1995. He retired from his music career in 2009 and became a police officer with the Franklin Police Department. He returned to music in 2019 in a small way, still remaining a police officer. The sad truth is that Carson did not die of a heart attack, but was put to death for his crime of murder that helped him achieve some measure of success in music. Now, singer, actress, and star of the reality show Braxton Family Values, with other members of her family, Tracy Braxton passed away on March 12, 2022 of cancer of the esophagus at age 50. Her family says she battled cancer for a year in hospice. Her sister is the Grammy-winning artist Toni Braxton. When Tracy achieved some success in her entertainment career, masquerader help was required, and that help could be obtained by meeting the hurdle qualification of murdering a white adult or child of non-German ancestry. Tracy Braxton had to pay with her life for that crime. She did not die of cancer, she was put to death. Former reporter John Clayton, who covered the NFL for ESPN and was nicknamed the Professor, died on March 18, 2022, following a brief illness, according to his family. He was 67. Clayton first was a sports reporter at the Pittsburgh Press. Then he moved to Seattle to cover the Seahawks for the Tacoma News Tribune. In 1995, he moved to ESPN to cover football in print, TV, and on radio till 2017. His most recent job was for the Seattle Sports 710 radio station. Clayton did not die of sickness. He was put to death for his crime of murdering a white adult and or child of non-German ancestry that helped his sports journalism career. Tom Parker, a member of the British boy band The Wanted, died on March 30, 2022 from an inoperable brain tumor at the age of 33. He had announced the diagnosis on October 12, 2020 after having suffered a seizure in July while on a family trip. In February 2021, Parker announced that his tumor had reduced considerably and that his condition was stable. But despite claims of the stable condition, Parker died on March 30, 2022. The reason was that he was put to death for the crime that his parents committed, which included a young child. These crimes were committed mostly before 2000 to 2001. Tom Parker was too young to have committed that crime himself, so Tom Parker did not die of cancer. Tom Parker's case shows that German masqueraders were not encouraging these crimes in the United States only, but were rewarding people for doing so even in British Commonwealth nations. Again, these are just celebrity deaths reported in the media. Probably hundreds of other ordinary people are being put to death every week for the same crimes. These deaths will continue because millions of murderers are still alive and need to be brought to justice and will be made to pay with their lives for their crimes. Thank you very much for watching this video. Please continue to watch my videos and read my articles on important world events, World War III watch, politics, international business, advice on health and medical problems, and much more for in-depth and insightful analysis. Please also subscribe to my YouTube and Facebook channels Unmasked Truth with Harbinjeet Saini to view and get information on the latest videos. Some people do not have the time to go through the full length of videos. They find it more convenient to read the text of the video. Unfortunately, YouTube does not provide the capability to make the text of my videos available on YouTube, but fortunately Facebook does provide that capability. So I make the text of my videos available on my Facebook channel, which you can easily copy.